The unexpected inheritance. Ryan Matthews had always lived a quiet life in the small town of Crestwood. His days were filled with the humdrum of working in it, fixing computers, and occasionally helping his neighbors with tech issues. The most excitement he encountered was when his old college buddy, Jackson Reeves, sent him the occasional email from his space explorations. Ryan had always admired Jackson's adventurous spirit. They had been close friends in college, but their paths diverged when Jackson pursued a career among the stars. One ordinary afternoon, as Ryan sifted through the usual pile of bills and junk mail, a letter caught his eye. It was from Jackson, marked with a strange seal and postmarked from an unrecognizable location. Intrigued, Ryan tore it open, eager to hear from his friend, though he wasn't prepared for the shocking message that lay within. "Dear Ryan," it began, "if you're reading this, it means I've vanished. Don't look for me. I'm leaving you something invaluable, 4 wives from across the galaxy. They're yours now. Take care of them, they'll take care of you. There's more at stake than you know." Ryan stared at the letter in disbelief. Wives, 4 of them? He chuckled nervously, thinking it had to be a prank. After all, Jackson had a knack for pulling elaborate jokes, but as he read the letter again, the weight of the words sank in. Something was terribly wrong. His heart raced, and a mix of anxiety and curiosity washed over him. Suddenly, a thunderous boom echoed outside, shaking the very foundation of his house. The windows rattled, and pictures fell from the walls. Ryan jumped to his feet, rushing to the back door, where he was met with an astonishing sight. Hovering above his overgrown lawn was a sleek, silver spacecraft, its engines humming softly as it burned the grass beneath. His mouth hung open, disbelief coursing through him. As he gaped, a hatch on the craft slid open, releasing a ramp that shimmered in the sunlight. 4 stunning figures descended, each more breathtaking than the last. They were women, but not just any women. These were beings from another world, radiating an aura of power and presence that left Ryan awestruck. The first woman, tall and regal, possessed flowing silver hair that cascaded down her back. Her sharp, angular features were framed by piercing blue eyes that locked onto Ryan's, sending chills down his spine. "I am Anara, Queen of the Elven Realm of Alheim," she announced, her voice crisp and commanding. "You must be Ryan Matthews." Before he could respond, the second woman strode forward. Her bronze skin rippled with lean muscle, and her eyes blazed like twin suns. A wickedly curved blade hung at her hip. "Zia," she grunted, giving Ryan an appraising once-over. "Warrior of Oracus, you look soft." Ryan bristled at that remark, but his attention quickly shifted to the third woman. She moved with a fluid grace, her iridescent skin shimmering in the sunlight. Bright, inquisitive eyes peered at him from behind a pair of holographic glasses. "Fascinating," she murmured. "I'm Dr. Kiana, xenobiologist from Aquarius Prime. Your planet's atmospheric composition is remarkable." The final woman glided forward, her feet barely seeming to touch the ground. Waves of silvery hair framed a heart-shaped face, and her eyes swirled with galaxies. "I am Mera," she said, her voice echoing in Ryan's mind. "Telepath and empath of Psyche. Your thoughts are chaotic." Ryan's mouth opened and closed as he tried to process this bizarre turn of events. "This can't be real," he finally managed. "Who are you people? Where's Jackson?" Anara's eyes narrowed. "Jackson Reeves is gone, as you've been informed. We are your wives now, bound by galactic law." "Wives?" Ryan sputtered, incredulous. "That's insane. I didn't agree to this." Zia snorted, her tone dismissive. "Agreement is irrelevant. The bond has been made." Kiana tilted her head, studying him intently. "Your elevated heart rate and dilated pupils suggest extreme stress. Perhaps we should continue this discussion inside." Numbly, Ryan nodded and led the 4 alien women into his modest home, acutely aware of how out of place they looked in his cluttered living room. "Look," he began, running a hand through his disheveled hair, "there has to be some mistake. I'm just a regular guy. I work in it for crying out loud. I can't have alien wives. Mira's eyes softened. Your confusion is understandable, Ryan, but Jackson chose you for a reason. What reason? He demanded, his frustration boiling over. And where is he? The four women exchanged glances. Anara spoke first, her tone measured. Jackson Reeves embarked on a dangerous mission. He knew there was a chance he wouldn't return. As a precaution, he arranged for us to be transferred to your care. Ryan collapsed onto the couch, his head spinning. This is insane, he muttered. Zia prowled the room, examining Ryan's belongings with a critical eye. Your dwelling is small, she observed. Where will we train? Train? Ryan echoed weakly, his mind reeling. Kiana's eyes lit up. Oh yes, I'd love to study your Earth combat techniques, and perhaps you could show me your technological systems. Mira drifted to Ryan's side, placing a cool hand on his arm. A wave of calm washed over him. We understand this is overwhelming, she said gently. But we are here now, and we must make the best of it. Ryan took a deep breath, trying to center himself. Okay, he said slowly. Let's say I believe all this. What exactly does being married to you entail? Anara's lips curved into a small smile. That, Ryan Matthews, is something we will discover together. As the days passed, Ryan found his life turned upside down. His modest home was suddenly bursting with activity. Anara commandeered the spare bedroom, transforming it into a makeshift throne room where she pored over holographic star charts and muttered about galactic politics. Zia took over the backyard, setting up an intense training regimen that left Ryan sore and breathless. You're weak, she growled before demonstrating a move that defied the laws of physics, leaving Ryan in awe of her strength. Kiana claimed the garage, filling it with blinking machinery and bubbling vials. More than once, Ryan had to extinguish small fires resulting from her experiments. Mira seemed content to float through the house, her presence a soothing balm to the chaos, yet Ryan often caught her staring at him with an intensity that made his skin prickle. On the fourth morning, Ryan stumbled into the kitchen to find all four women gathered around his small table. They fell silent as he entered. Ah, good morning, he said awkwardly, reaching for the coffee pot. Ryan, Anara said, her tone imperious. We must discuss our situation. He leaned against the counter, intrigued yet anxious. I'm all ears. Zia snorted. Your ears are clearly human-shaped. Kiana elbowed her. It's an Earth expression, remember? Ryan sighed. What about our situation? Anara folded her hands. We've been patient, allowing you time to adjust, but we must establish the parameters of our relationship. Right, Ryan said slowly. About that, I'm still not entirely clear on what's expected of me. Mira's eyes softened. We are your wives, Ryan, in all senses of the word. Heat crept up Ryan's neck. All senses, he squeaked. Zia grinned, showing sharp teeth. You're not going to faint, are you? Ryan gripped the counter. No, this is a lot to process. Kiana leaned forward, eyes bright with curiosity. Perhaps if we approach this scientifically, we could establish a schedule for physical intimacy, taking into account various biological factors. No schedules, Ryan said quickly. Look, you're all incredibly beautiful, but I barely know you. I can't just jump into a physical relationship with 4 alien women. Anara's eyes flashed. You would reject us. No, not exactly. I just need time. Mira nodded. That's understandable, Ryan. We can take things slowly. Zia scowled. Slowly. Where's the fun in that? Ryan took a deep breath. How about we start by just getting to know each other as people, not as wives? The women exchanged glances, and after a moment, Anara nodded. Very well. We will respect your wishes for now. As the days turned into a whirlwind of activity, Ryan found himself increasingly drawn into the orbit of each woman. Anara cornered him one afternoon, insisting he join her for tea. They found themselves engrossed in discussions about interstellar politics, marveling at the complexities of galactic diplomacy. "You have a keen mind," Anara observed, her icy demeanor thawing slightly. "Perhaps you're not entirely hopeless." Ryan grinned, savoring the high praise. A ghost of a smile from a queen. "I'll take it." Meanwhile, Zia, frustrated by Ryan's lack of progress in combat training, decided to challenge him to a game of chess, confident in her tactical superiority. 3 hours later, she stared at the board in disbelief. "How?" she demanded. "How did you defeat me?" Ryan leaned back, trying not to look too smug. Sometimes brains beat brawn. Zia's eyes narrowed, but a glimmer of respect shone in them. "Tomorrow, we return to physical training. Prepare yourself." Kiana's enthusiasm for Earth technology was infectious. Ryan found himself explaining everything from microwaves to smartphones, delighting in her wide-eyed wonder. "Your species' ingenuity is remarkable," she mused, examining his laptop. "Imagine what you could accomplish with access to galactic resources." "I think we do all right with what we've got," Ryan chuckled. Kiana's gaze turned. He blinked, taken aback by her intensity. "I'm just a regular guy, Kiana." She shook her head. "No, you're not. Jackson saw it, and now so do I." However, connecting with Mira proved to be the most challenging. Her telepathic abilities meant she often responded to thoughts Ryan hadn't voiced aloud, which was disconcerting. One evening, he found her in the backyard, staring up at the stars. "You're troubled," she said as he approached. Ryan sighed. "That obvious, huh?" Mira turned, her eyes swirling with cosmic depths. "Your mind is a storm of questions. Ask them." He hesitated, then plunged ahead. "Why me? Why did Jackson choose me for all this?" Mira was silent for a long moment. "The threads of fate are complex. Jackson saw something in you, a potential that even you don't recognize yet." "But what if he was wrong?" Ryan asked, voicing his deepest fear. "What if I'm not cut out for whatever this is?" Mira stepped closer, her presence enveloping him like a warm breeze. "You are more than you know, Ryan Matthews. In time, you will see it too." As she spoke, a flood of emotions washed over him. Confidence, strength, and something deeper, more primal. Ryan gasped, stepping back. "Mira, wait. That was intense." Her eyes widened. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to project so strongly." Ryan's heart raced. "No, it's okay. Thank you for believing in me." A smile bloomed on Mira's face, radiant as a supernova. "Always," she whispered. That night, as Ryan lay in bed, his mind whirled with the events of the past week. 4 incredible women, each fascinating in her own way, had been thrust into his life. Despite his initial reservations, he was beginning to see the potential in this strange arrangement. Drifting off to sleep, a faint beeping caught his attention. Frowning, Ryan sat up, scanning the darkened room. The sound seemed to be coming from inside his closet. Cautiously, he approached, pulling open the door. The beeping grew louder, and as he pushed aside hanging clothes, he revealed a small metal box he had never seen before. As he touched it, the top slid open with a soft hiss. Inside was a holographic projector, flickering to life. Suddenly, Jackson's face hovered before him, looking haggard and afraid. "Ryan," the recording said, "if you are seeing this, it means I'm gone. I'm sorry to drag you into this, but I had no choice. The wives I've left you, they're not just refugees. They're the key to saving the galaxy." Ryan's breath caught in his throat as Jackson continued. "There's a threat coming, buddy. Something big. Something that could wipe out everything. You're the only one I trust to handle this. Get close to them, Ryan. Learn from them. They'll prepare you for what's coming." The hologram flickered, and Jackson leaned closer, his eyes intense. "There's an artifact, ancient and powerful. Find it before they do. It's our only hope. I'm counting on you, Ryan. The whole damn galaxy is counting on you. Don't let us down." As the hologram vanished, plunging the room into darkness. Ryan stood frozen, Jackson's words echoing in his mind. Save the galaxy? Ancient artifacts. It was too much. He was just a regular guy, not some cosmic hero. Yet, as he sank onto the edge of his bed, he thought of the 4 extraordinary women sleeping under his roof. Women who believed in him, who saw something in him he couldn't yet see himself. Maybe, just maybe, he could be more than just Ryan Matthews, 8 guy. Maybe he could be the man the galaxy needed him to be. With a deep breath, Ryan straightened his shoulders. Whatever was coming, he would face it, not just for himself, but for Anara, Zia, Kiana, and Mera. For Jackson, for the entire galaxy. As dawn broke, he knew there was no turning back. Gathering his alien wives in the living room, determination etched on his face, Ryan announced, "Ladies, we need to talk." His voice was steady despite the nervous flutter in his stomach. "I found a message from Jackson last night. There's more going on here than we realized." Anora's eyes narrowed. "Explain." Ryan recounted Jackson's holographic warning, watching their reactions closely. Zia's hand instinctively went to her weapon, while Kiana's eyes lit up with scientific curiosity. Mera remained eerily still, her gaze boring into Ryan. "An artifact capable of saving or destroying the galaxy," Kiana mused. "Fascinating. Any idea what it might be?" Ryan shook his head. Jackson didn't give details, but he said you 4 are the key to finding it. Zia snorted. "Of course we are. We're not some helpless females needing rescue." "No one's saying that," Ryan said quickly. "But we need to work together on this. Jackson chose all of us for a reason." Anara stood, her regal bearing commanding attention. "If what you say is true, we cannot remain here. We must seek out this artifact before our enemies locate it." As they trained, Ryan felt his confidence grow. Zia's relentless spirit inspired him, and he discovered muscles he never knew he had. He learned to block her strikes, retaliating with newfound strength, even surprising her once or twice. Zia's laughter echoed as he stumbled back, panting yet proud. "Good," she shouted, her enthusiasm infectious. "You're getting stronger. We'll have you ready to take on any enemy in no time." Discovering Kiana's world. Meanwhile, Kiana guided Ryan through the intricacies of alien technology. The ship's holographic interface was a marvel, allowing them to access vast databases of knowledge. "This is the Library of Alam," she said, projecting a map of their destination onto the screen. "It's one of the largest collections of knowledge in the galaxy. We must find the ancient texts that mention the artifact Jackson spoke of." Ryan leaned closer, captivated by the intricacies of the technology. "How do you know where to look?" Kiana tapped a few buttons, and the hologram shifted, displaying a list of ancient texts. The library's archives have a predictive system. They track historical events and correlate them with potential artifacts. This one, she pointed, is rumored to hold the key to understanding the artifact's location. Her excitement was contagious. As they worked, Ryan learned about Kiana's world, Aquarius Prime, a place where technology and nature coexisted harmoniously. "We have developed advanced bioengineering techniques," she explained, her voice animated. "Plants that can purify air and machines that adapt to their environment." "That's incredible," Ryan replied, genuinely impressed. "So, if we find this artifact, do you think it could be linked to some advanced technology?" "Exactly," Kiana said, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "It could be a piece of ancient technology that helps maintain balance in the universe. If it falls into the wrong hands—" "Let's not let that happen," Ryan said, his resolve strengthening. Uncovering Anora's past. In quieter moments, Ryan found solace in conversations with Anora. Her knowledge of galactic politics and history was vast, and she shared stories of her realm, Alheim, a place of beauty and magic. They would sit together, drinking tea made from exotic herbs, discussing everything from their cultures to the nature of leadership. "One of the greatest lessons I've learned as a queen," Anora said one evening, her voice soft yet powerful, is that true strength lies not in ruling with an iron fist, but in understanding and compassion. A leader must inspire those they lead. Ryan listened intently, fascinated by her perspective. It sounds like a heavy burden to bear. It is, Anara replied, her expression thoughtful. But it is also a privilege. To protect and serve those who depend on you is the highest calling. I see that same potential in you, Ryan. Ryan's heart swelled at her words, igniting a spark within him. Maybe I can learn to be a leader too. If this artifact can help save the galaxy, then I'll do whatever it takes. Anara smiled, a warmth radiating from her. You are not just a man, you are a beacon of hope. Connection with Mera. Despite their growing camaraderie, Ryan found it challenging to connect with Mera. Her telepathic abilities created a barrier between them. She often seemed to know his thoughts before he voiced them, which felt unnerving yet oddly comforting. One night, as they stared up at the stars from the ship's observation deck, Ryan turned to her, searching for a way to bridge the gap. How does it feel, knowing what people think? Mera considered his question, her eyes reflecting the cosmos. It can be overwhelming. I sense emotions, fears, and hopes. It connects us, but it can also isolate me. I often feel more like a mirror reflecting others' feelings than a participant in my own life. Ryan nodded, understanding her struggle. That must be tough, but you're not alone anymore. We're all in this together. Mera smiled softly, her gaze lingering on him. Thank you for saying that, Ryan. It means more than you know. In that moment, he felt a connection that transcended words. They stood in comfortable silence, watching as stars flickered in the vast expanse, a reminder of the journey they had embarked upon. Arrival at Alum. As the days passed, their training intensified, and the camaraderie among them deepened. Finally, the ship approached Alum, a vibrant planet bursting with colors and life. Towering spires of crystalline structures glimmered in the sunlight, while lush greenery blanketed the surface, making it look like a jewel in the universe. Ryan felt a mixture of awe and apprehension as they prepared to land. What should we expect when we get there? He asked, glancing at Kiana, who was busy adjusting the ship's landing coordinates. The libraries are heavily guarded, she replied, her tone serious. We'll need to navigate through various levels of security. I'll handle the technology, but we may need to rely on Zia for physical challenges. Zia smirked, cracking her knuckles. Bring it on. Nobody will stand in our way. As they touched down on the planet's surface, the door of the spacecraft slid open, revealing a breathtaking landscape. Ryan stepped out, his heart racing with excitement and a hint of anxiety. Stay alert, Anara instructed, her regal presence commanding respect. Our mission has only just begun. Together, they ventured toward the entrance of the Library of Alum, a massive structure that towered before them, its walls adorned with ancient symbols and intricate designs. Ryan felt the weight of history pressing against him as they approached the entrance, ready to uncover the secrets that lay within. As they crossed the threshold, the atmosphere shifted. The air was thick with knowledge, a palpable energy that vibrated with potential. Ryan took a deep breath, feeling the gravity of their mission settle around them. He was no longer just an it guy from a small town. He was a man on a quest to save the galaxy. Let's find that artifact, he said, determination surging through him. The adventure had only just begun, and Ryan was ready to embrace whatever challenges awaited them in the depths of the Library of Alum. Into the depths of knowledge. As Ryan and his extraordinary companions stood before the towering entrance of the Library of Alum, a sense of reverence enveloped them. The massive stone doors were intricately carved with celestial motifs, stars, galaxies, and ancient symbols that hinted at the secrets contained within. The air was charged with anticipation, and Ryan could feel the weight of their mission pressing down on him like a tangible force. Anara stepped forward, her regal demeanor unwavering. We must proceed with caution. The library is not just a repository of knowledge, it is also a fortress. It is guarded by powerful enchantments and beings who protect the ancient texts. We must show respect and purpose. Ryan nodded, his heart racing with a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was no longer just an adventure. It was a pivotal moment in a much larger struggle. He felt the eyes of his companions on him, each of them trusting him to lead them into this unknown. With a firm push, Anara opened the doors, and they creaked open, revealing a grand hall filled with towering shelves of scrolls, books, and glowing holographic displays. The vastness of the library was overwhelming. The ceilings soared high above them, adorned with a stunning depiction of the night sky, complete with constellations that seemed to shimmer in the dim light. Exploring the library. As they stepped inside, the echoes of their footsteps mingled with the faint sounds of whispering voices. Ryan glanced around, taking in the sheer magnitude of knowledge that surrounded him. "This place is incredible," he breathed, awestruck by the rows upon rows of ancient tomes and futuristic technology intermingling seamlessly. Kiana moved ahead, her eyes wide with excitement as she activated a nearby console. "The library is equipped with a sophisticated search system," she explained, her fingers gliding over the interface. "We can access texts based on keywords, subjects, or even specific historical events." Ryan watched as holographic images of books and scrolls materialized in the air above them, illuminating Kiana's face with a soft glow. "We need to find everything related to the artifact Jackson mentioned," he said, trying to focus. "What do we know about it?" Zia, ever the warrior, glanced around the vast hall. "Let's not forget we're not alone. We should keep our guards up." She moved closer to Ryan, her presence reassuring. Anara nodded, her expression serious. "Right. Knowledge is power, but so are the forces that seek to control it. We must be prepared for anything." Ryan felt a surge of determination. "Okay, let's split up. Kiana, you and I will search for information on the artifact. Anara and Zia, keep watch and explore the hall for any signs of danger." Kiana grinned, clearly enthusiastic about the task. "Let's go." The search for knowledge. As Ryan and Kiana dove into their search, he marveled at the technology surrounding them. The holographic displays flickered with ancient texts, some written in languages he didn't recognize, while others glowed in vivid colors. He felt a sense of awe. He was in a treasure trove of knowledge, a place where the past and future collided. "What do you think we should look for first?" Ryan asked, glancing at Kiana as she scrolled through the texts. "Let's start with the history of the artifact," she suggested. "It's likely there are references to its origins, how it was used, and perhaps even its last known location." Ryan nodded, focusing on a holographic display. "What about the legends surrounding it? If it's as powerful as Jackson said, there might be stories warning of its dangers." Kiana's eyes lit up as she nodded in agreement. "Excellent idea. There may also be records of other beings who sought it. We need to understand the risks involved." They delved into the information, Ryan's fingers flying across the interface as they searched for relevant texts. As the hours passed, he found himself lost in a whirlwind of knowledge. They discovered ancient accounts detailing the artifact's immense power, the ability to manipulate energy and even reshape reality. But with that power came great danger. Many who sought it had fallen into darkness, driven mad by its allure. "This is incredible," Ryan said, barely able to contain his excitement. "If we can understand its power, we might find a way to protect ourselves." "True," Kiana replied, her brow furrowed in concentration. "But we must also be cautious. The artifact has been sought after for centuries. We're not the only ones looking for it." A dark presence. Meanwhile, Anara and Zia prowled the perimeter of the library, their senses heightened. Zia scanned the area, her instincts honed by years of training. "There's something off about this place," she murmured, glancing at Anara. "I can feel it." Anara nodded, her regal posture unwavering. "You're right. There is a lingering darkness, a sense of foreboding. We must be vigilant." As they moved deeper into the library, Zia's hand instinctively rested on the hilt of her weapon. The shadows seemed to shift, and the air grew thick with tension. "Stay close, Anara," she warned, her voice low. "I don't trust this place." Suddenly, a chill swept through the hall, sending shivers down their spines. A figure emerged from the shadows, tall, cloaked, and exuding a palpable aura of menace. "You shouldn't have come here," the figure said, that a voice smooth yet threatening. Zia stepped forward, her eyes narrowing. "And who are you to threaten us?" The cloaked figure chuckled darkly. "I am a guardian of this library. Only those deemed worthy may access its secrets. You are not worthy." Anora's eyes flashed with defiance. "We seek knowledge to prevent a great calamity. We do not wish to harm this place." The figure scoffed. "Your intentions matter little. The knowledge here is protected, and you will not pass without proving yourselves." Trials of worthiness. Back in the main hall, Ryan and Kiana were engrossed in their research when the console suddenly flickered, displaying an urgent message. "Warning. Unauthorized access detected. Guardians have been alerted." "What does that mean?" Ryan asked, his heart racing. Kiana's face paled. "It means we need to get out of here. We've triggered a security protocol. The Guardians will not take kindly to intruders." Ryan quickly activated the search for the nearest exit. "We can't leave. We need the information on the artifact." Just as he spoke, the library's lights dimmed, and a low rumble echoed through the hall. "We must go now," Kiana urged, her urgency palpable. Before they could move, the cloaked figure appeared before them, blocking their path. "You seek the knowledge of the ancients, yet you have shown no respect for their domain. You will face the trials to prove your worthiness." Ryan's heart sank. What kind of trials? "The trials of intellect, courage, and unity," the Guardian replied, his voice resonating in the chamber. "Only those who pass may access the library's secrets. Fail, and you will be cast out." Ryan exchanged glances with Kiana. "We don't have a choice. We have to try." The first trial, intellect. The Guardian raised a hand, and the air shimmered with energy, creating a series of holographic projections. "The first trial is one of intellect. Answer my questions correctly, and you shall proceed." Ryan felt a mix of fear and determination. "Let's do this." The Guardian began firing questions at them, each one more challenging than the last. They ranged from ancient galactic history to complex scientific principles. Ryan felt the pressure mounting as they struggled to keep up, but Kiana's sharp mind shone through. "Remember, Ryan," Kiana whispered as they deliberated. "Think about what we've learned. Use your intuition." Together, they worked through the questions, discussing each answer as the Guardian watched them with a calculating gaze. After what felt like an eternity, they answered the final question correctly, the Guardian nodding slowly. "Impressive," he said, his voice tinged with grudging respect. "You have passed the first trial." Ryan exhaled in relief, exchanging a triumphant smile with Kiana. "One down, two to go." The second trial, courage. As they prepare for the second trial, the Guardian gestured for them to follow. "This trial will test your courage. You must confront your greatest fears." A portal opened, revealing a dark expanse that seemed to swirl with shadows. "Step through," the Guardian commanded. Kiana hesitated, her eyes wide. "What awaits us in there?" "The unknown," the Guardian replied. "Face it together, or you will fail." Taking a deep breath, Ryan stepped forward, holding out his hand to Kiana. "We can do this, together." Hand in hand, they crossed the threshold, entering the void. As they stepped inside, Ryan felt a rush of fear wash over him. Shadows coiled around them, and whispers filled the air, echoing their doubts and insecurities. "You're just an it guy," one voice hissed. "You don't belong here." Kiana's grip tightened around his hand. "Ignore them, Ryan. They're not real." Images flashed before Ryan's eyes, memories of self-doubt, moments when he felt inadequate. He fought against the darkness, reminding himself of the strength he had found in his companions. Focus on what we've learned, Kiana urged. We're stronger together. As they faced the shadows, they conjured images of their experiences, the laughter they had shared, and the determination that had brought them here. Slowly the darkness receded, and they emerged from the void, panting but victorious. You have shown true courage, the Guardian said, his tone slightly impressed. You may proceed to the final trial. The third trial, Unity. The third trial awaited them in a grand chamber adorned with ancient symbols and flickering torches. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation, and the Guardian stood before them, a stern expression on his face. The final trial is one of unity, he proclaimed. You must demonstrate your bond as a team. Only by working together can you unlock the secrets of the library. Before them lay a series of interconnected puzzles, each requiring collaboration to solve. Ryan felt a sense of urgency as they approached the first puzzle, a complex mechanism that required 4 separate actions to align. Okay, we need to coordinate our movements, Ryan said, glancing at his companions. Zia, you take the left panel. Anara, you're on the right. Kiana and I will handle the center. As they set to work, the pressure mounted. Each panel required precise timing and communication. Ryan could feel the weight of their mission hanging over them, but he also felt a surge of confidence in his team. They had come too far to fail. On 3, Ryan shouted. 1, 2, 3. With synchronized movements, they activated the panels, the mechanism whirring to life. As the first puzzle clicked into place, a warm light filled the room, illuminating their faces. Keep going, Kiana encouraged, her eyes bright with determination. One by one, they tackled the puzzles, laughter and shouts of encouragement echoing as they worked through each challenge. The bond between them strengthened with every success, and Ryan realized that they were more than just a group of mismatched individuals, they were a team. As the final puzzle fell into place, the Guardian stepped back, a look of admiration on his face. You have proven your unity and strength. The secrets of the library are yours to explore. Unlocking the secrets. Ryan felt a rush of triumph as the Guardian led them deeper into the library. You may now access the texts that contain knowledge of the artifact, he said, gesturing toward a vast archive filled with glowing tomes and ancient scrolls. Kiana's eyes sparkled with excitement as they moved toward the shelves. This is it. We can finally uncover the truth about the artifact. Ryan approached a pedestal at the center of the archive, where an ornate book lay open. As he leaned closer, the pages shimmered, revealing intricate illustrations and detailed accounts of the artifact's history. This is incredible, he breathed, tracing a finger over the words. It details how the artifact was created, a fusion of advanced technology and ancient magic. Look here, Kiana pointed to a passage. It describes its powers, but it also warns of the darkness that surrounds it. Those who seek it for selfish purposes are often consumed by its power. Ryan's heart raced as he absorbed the information. We have to make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. If there are others looking for it, we need to find it first. Anara stepped forward, her expression serious. We must also prepare for the consequences of our actions. Knowledge is a double-edged sword, and we must wield it wisely. As they delved deeper into the texts, the reality of their mission settled over Ryan. They weren't just searching for an artifact, they were stepping into a larger battle, one that would test their resolve, unity, and courage. A race against time. The air in the library of Alum hummed with the energy of ancient knowledge, each scroll and tome pulsating with secrets waiting to be uncovered. Ryan Matthews, flanked by his remarkable companions, felt a mix of exhilaration and trepidation as he pored over the texts they had discovered. The vastness of the library was both a treasure and a trap. It contained wisdom that could either save the galaxy or doom it. Look at this, Kiana said, her voice barely above a whisper as she pointed to a glowing passage in the ornate book. It mentions the artifact's location, but it's encoded. We'll need to decipher it to understand where it lies. Ryan leaned closer, his brow furrowing in concentration. "Can you break the code?" "I believe so," Kiana replied, determination shining in her eyes. "But I'll need some time to analyze the patterns." "Time might be the one thing we don't have," Zia interjected, glancing toward the library's entrance. "We don't know how long it will be before others come searching for this knowledge." Ryan nodded, feeling the weight of urgency settle over him. "Then let's get to work. We'll split up again. Kiana, focus on decoding the text. Anara and Zia, keep watch for any signs of danger. Mera and I will search for additional references that might help us understand how to use the artifact once we find it." The group dispersed, and Ryan's heart raced with the thrill of the chase. He was stepping into the unknown, armed with newfound knowledge and determination. Decoding the secrets. As Kiana dove into her work, Ryan began sifting through other texts surrounding the artifact. Each scroll he unrolled revealed tales of triumph and tragedy, detailing how civilizations had risen and fallen in their pursuit of power. Many have tried to harness the artifact's power, yet few have succeeded, Ryan murmured to himself, scanning the words that danced before him. The lure of its potential can corrupt even the noblest hearts. Nearby, Mera leaned against a pedestal, her eyes closed as if she were absorbing the essence of the knowledge surrounding them. "You're troubled," she said, her voice breaking the silence. "You feel a responsibility that comes with this quest." Ryan sighed, pushing a stray hair from his forehead. "It's just, I never wanted to be the hero. I'm just a regular guy from a small town. What if I fail?" "You've already taken the first step by acknowledging the challenge," Mera replied, her voice soothing. "Strength comes not from the absence of fear, but from facing it. You are more than you realize." Her words hung in the air, and Ryan felt a warmth in his chest. "Thanks, Mera. That means a lot." He returned to the scrolls, his resolve strengthening. A looming threat. Meanwhile, Zia and Anara patrolled the library's entrance, their senses heightened as they scanned for any signs of intrusion. The atmosphere felt thick with tension, and Zia's instincts were on high alert. "There's something in the air," Zia said, squinting into the dim light of the corridor leading into the depths of the library. "I can't shake this feeling." Anara nodded, her expression serious. "We must remain vigilant. The Guardians may not be the only ones interested in the knowledge here. Jackson's disappearance has likely drawn attention from those who would seek the artifact for nefarious purposes." Just as Anara finished speaking, a rustling sound echoed from the entrance. Both women stiffened, their eyes narrowing as a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, a hooded figure with a dark cloak that billowed around them like smoke. "Leave this place," the figure commanded, their voice cold and menacing. "The knowledge here does not belong to you." Zia stepped forward, her stance defensive. "And who are you to tell us what we can and cannot do?" The figure laughed, a chilling sound that reverberated through the hall. "I am a seeker of power. The knowledge in this library is coveted, and you are nothing but interlopers. Step aside, or face the consequences." The confrontation. Rian, Mera, and Kiana were abruptly pulled from their research as Zia's voice echoed through the hall. "Get ready, we have company." Rian felt adrenaline surge through him as he raced toward the entrance, Kiana and Mera right behind him. They emerged just in time to see Zia standing defiantly against the hooded figure, her weapon drawn and poised for combat. "Zia, wait," Ryan shouted, trying to defuse the situation. "Let's not escalate this." But the figure's eyes glinted with malice. "You dare to defy me? You know not the power you meddle with." As the hooded figure raised a hand, shadows swirled around them, twisting into dark tendrils that lunged toward Zia. Without hesitation, she countered with a swift, precise strike, cutting through the darkness. Ryan's heart raced as he saw the tendrils dissipate into nothingness. "We have to work together," he yelled, drawing on the skills Zia had taught him. The figure's expression shifted from shock to fury. "Fools, you think you can stop me?" With a flourish, the figure conjured more shadows, this time targeting Ryan and Kiana. "Protect yourselves," Mira shouted, stepping forward and projecting a barrier of energy that pulsed with warmth. The shadows collided against it, momentarily halted. Ryan felt a surge of gratitude for Mira's quick thinking. "We need to counterattack," he shouted, glancing at Kiana. "Can you do anything with your technology?" "Give me a moment," Kiana replied, her eyes darting around for something she could use. "I can create a diversion." "Then do it," Ryan yelled, feeling the weight of their mission pressing down on him. The power of unity. Kiana quickly tapped into the library's systems, her fingers flying over the console. Distracting the target now. She activated a holographic projection that illuminated the chamber, creating an explosion of colors and lights that filled the air. The hooded figure staggered back, momentarily disoriented by the dazzling display. "What is this sorcery?" they snarled, shaking off the distraction. "Now," Zia shouted, lunging forward while the figure was off balance. In a fluid motion, she launched an attack that forced the figure to defend, buying Ryan and Kiana crucial seconds. Mira focused her energy, amplifying the barrier she had created. "We must combine our strengths," she urged, her voice steady amid the chaos. Ryan nodded, adrenaline surging through him. "Together," he shouted, rallying his companions. "We can do this." As if guided by instinct, they formed a circle, joining hands. Ryan felt the warmth of their unity as Mira's energy radiated around them, fueling their resolve. "Now, channel your energy into the barrier," Ryan instructed. With a collective effort, they pushed their combined strength into the barrier, and it flared brighter, illuminating the darkened library. The hooded figure shrieked in frustration as the barrier expanded, pushing back against the encroaching shadows. "Not so powerful now, are we?" Zia taunted, her spirit unyielding. The turning point. The hooded figure glared at them, their fury evident. "You think you can defeat me? I am but a vessel of darkness, and darkness shall always return." Ryan took a step forward, emboldened by the strength of his companions. "Not if we stand together. We choose light over darkness." The words resonated through the chamber, and as the barrier enveloped the figure, Ryan felt a shift in the energy around them. The shadows began to recede, losing their hold. "No," the figure roared, their voice echoing as they fought against the power of their combined energies. "You cannot extinguish me." But Ryan and his companions remained steadfast, their determination unwavering. With a final surge of energy, they channeled everything they had into the barrier, their collective will piercing through the darkness. In an explosion of light, the figure was pushed back, engulfed by the radiant energy. They let out a final, anguished cry before vanishing into a cloud of shadows that dissipated into the air. Breathless and shaken, Ryan and his friends stood together, the warm glow of their combined strength slowly fading. "We did it," Ryan said, disbelief etched on his face. "We actually did it." "Together," Kiana added, her eyes shining with pride. "We overcame the darkness together." The calm after the storm. As the echoes of the confrontation faded, Ryan took a moment to breathe deeply. The library, once filled with ominous shadows, now felt warm and welcoming. "We need to keep moving," Anara said, her voice breaking through the reverie. "We still have a mission." "Right," Ryan replied, feeling the weight of their goal pressing upon him again. "Kiana, how's the decoding going?" Kiana glanced at the glowing book, her determination unwavering. "I've made some progress, but I need more time. The information about the artifact's exact location is complex. Then let's regroup and figure out our next steps," Anara suggested, her regal presence grounding them. "We cannot lose sight of our purpose." Ryan felt a renewed sense of focus as they gathered around the pedestal. "Let's decode the information we have and see if we can uncover any additional clues before the next threat emerges." As Kiana returned to her work, Ryan felt a sense of unity among them that transcended the trials they had just faced. Each of them had played a vital role, and together they formed a force that could challenge any darkness that threatened to engulf the galaxy. The first clue. Minutes turned into hours as Kiana meticulously analyzed the text. Finally, a breakthrough occurred. "I found something," she exclaimed, her excitement contagious. "The location of the artifact is hidden within the constellations of Alheim. We need to align the stars correctly to reveal its precise coordinates." "Can you show us?" Zia asked, stepping closer. Kiana activated a holographic star map, projecting it above them. "Look here. This constellation corresponds to the artifact's location. If we can find a vantage point high enough to see it in the night sky, we may be able to locate it." Ryan felt his heart race. "Then we need to move quickly. We'll head to a high point and get a better view of the stars. Time is against us, and we don't know if more threats are lurking." The vantage point. The atmosphere outside the Library of Alim was charged with an electric energy as Ryan and his companions emerged into the vast expanse of twilight. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a cascade of colors across the sky, fiery oranges, deep purples, and soft blues swirling together to create a breathtaking tapestry. But amid the beauty, a sense of urgency gnawed at Ryan's gut. They needed to find the artifact before it fell into the wrong hands. "Where to now?" Zia asked, her eyes scanning the surroundings, ever vigilant. Kiana, still buzzing with excitement from the decoding breakthrough, consulted her holographic star map, which projected intricate constellations hovering above her hand. "There's a high plateau nearby. If we can reach the summit before nightfall, we should be able to see the constellations clearly and pinpoint the artifact's location." Ryan nodded, his resolve strengthening. "Lead the way, Kiana. Let's move quickly." The journey to the plateau. The group set off at a brisk pace, navigating through the dense underbrush of Alam's lush terrain. As they walked, Ryan marveled at the unique flora surrounding them, glowing plants that pulsed with light and towering trees that seemed to hum with energy. He could feel the vibrant life of the planet all around him, heightening his senses and fueling his determination. As they approached the base of the plateau, the incline steepened, and they began to climb. Each step was a reminder of the challenges they had already faced together. The trials in the library had forged a bond between them, transforming them from mere companions into a united front against the darkness that threatened their galaxy. "Keep up, Ryan," Zia called over her shoulder, a teasing grin on her face. "You're not going to let a little hill defeat you, are you?" "Very funny," Ryan shot back, panting but smiling. "I'm just pacing myself for the big climb." Mira walked alongside him, her ethereal presence comforting. "You're stronger than you think, Ryan. Every trial we face builds your resilience." He appreciated her encouragement, and with each step, he felt a sense of purpose drive him forward. They finally reached the plateau's summit, where the view was breathtaking. The stars began to twinkle above, their brilliance illuminated by the emerging night. The cosmic map. As they settled on the edge of the plateau, Ryan couldn't help but gasp at the vista. The night sky stretched endlessly before them, dotted with stars and swirling galaxies. "It's beautiful," he murmured, captivated by the sheer magnitude of the universe. Kiana immediately activated her holographic map, overlaying it onto the night sky. "Okay, everyone, look for the constellation of the Celestial Serpent. It should be directly above us." The group gazed up, scanning the constellations as Kiana's map highlighted the Celestial Serpent with a glowing outline. "There it is," Ryan exclaimed, pointing upward. "That's it." "Yes. Now we need to align the coordinates," Kiana said, her fingers dancing over the controls. "According to the texts, the artifact's location is at the center of its coils." "Let's make sure we have everything ready," Anara said, her voice steady. "Ryan, can you help Kiana input the coordinates?" Ryan moved closer to Kiana, heart racing with excitement. Together, they entered the necessary data into the console, their fingers brushing against each other, sending a spark of energy between them. "This is it," Ryan said, a sense of exhilaration coursing through him. "Now, we just need to wait for the celestial alignment," Kiana explained, her eyes fixed on the star map. "It'll take a few moments for the coordinates to lock in." A moment of reflection. As they waited, Ryan took a moment to reflect on everything that had happened since he had inherited his 4 alien wives. Just weeks ago, he was a simple 8 guy, living an unremarkable life. Now, he was on the brink of a journey that could change the fate of the galaxy. "Mira," he said, breaking the silence, "you mentioned before that you often feel isolated because of your abilities. What's it like to read others' thoughts?" Mira turned her gaze toward him, her swirling eyes reflecting the starlight. "It can be overwhelming," she admitted. "I often find it difficult to separate my feelings from those of others, but being with you all, experiencing this journey together, helps me feel connected rather than alone." "That's good to hear," Ryan replied, feeling a warmth spread through him. "We're in this together. You're not alone anymore." Zia, overhearing their conversation, chimed in. "And we're all counting on each other. Just look at how far we've come. Together, we're stronger than we could ever be apart." As they spoke, the sky above shifted, and Ryan noticed the stars flickering, their light intensifying as the cosmic map responded to the celestial alignment. "Kiana, is it working?" he called out. "Yes, the coordinates are locking in," Kiana replied, her excitement palpable. The holographic display pulsed with energy, revealing a precise location, a distant star system that seemed to beckon them closer. The artifact's location revealed. Ryan's heart raced as Kiana spoke the words that would shape their journey. "The artifact is located in the Zither system, on the planet Lyrith. It appears to be an ancient temple, steeped in mystery." "Then that's where we need to go," Anora said decisively, her regal demeanor shining through. "But we must be cautious. The Zither system may already be under surveillance from those who would seek the artifact for their own gain." Zia's eyes narrowed. "So we'll need to get there quickly and quietly, no detours." As the coordinates locked into place, Ryan felt a surge of determination. "Let's get back to the ship and prepare for our journey. We can't afford to lose any more time." Return to the ship. With a sense of urgency, the group descended from the plateau, retracing their steps through the dense underbrush of alum. The stars twinkled above them, guiding their path. Ryan felt a mix of exhilaration and anxiety as they neared their ship. When they arrived, Ryan took charge, quickly initiating the launch sequence. The ship's engines hummed to life, and the vessel trembled with energy as they prepared for takeoff. "Coordinates are set for the Zither system," Kiana announced, her fingers flying over the controls. "We're ready for launch." "Then let's go," Ryan said, his heart racing with anticipation. As the ship soared into the night sky, the lush landscape of alum fell away beneath them. Ryan couldn't help but steal glances at his companions, each one brimming with determination. He knew they were stepping into a world filled with danger and uncertainty, but together they were a force to be reckoned with. Into the unknown. The ship hurtled through space, stars streaking past like a cosmic river. As they traveled, Ryan felt the weight of their mission pressing down on him. The stakes were high, and the fate of the galaxy rested on their shoulders. "What do you think awaits us on Lyrith?" Ryan asked, breaking the silence as they floated through the darkness. "I suspect it will be a test of our abilities," Anara replied, her voice calm and reassuring. "The temple may hold not only the artifact, but also the trials we must face to claim it." Zia leaned back in her seat, crossing her arms. "I hope it's more than just puzzles. I'm ready for a fight." Mira smiled softly, her eyes reflecting the distant stars. "Whatever lies ahead, we will face it together." Approaching Lyrith. As they approached the Zither system, the ship's sensors pinged with alerts. "We're nearing Lyrith," Kiana announced, her voice steady as she focused on the controls. "But there seems to be a significant energy fluctuation around the planet. It could indicate that the artifact is already drawing attention." Ryan's heart raced as he glanced at the viewports, where Lilith loomed ahead, a vibrant world with swirling clouds of green and blue, its surface dotted with ancient ruins. "What should we do?" he asked, anxiety creeping into his voice. "We need to scan for any signs of activity before we land," Kiana suggested. "If others are already on the planet, we must proceed with caution." As the ship glided into orbit, Ryan felt a rush of adrenaline. They were close to uncovering the artifact's secrets, but the weight of uncertainty loomed larger than ever. "Let's do this," he said, steeling himself for what lay ahead. "We'll uncover the truth together."